Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Janelle. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we are going to be doing my March/birthday book haul. So grab a cozy cup of whatever. Today I am having peppermint tea with honey. It's become my late night just unwind and be relaxed drink, and I've been loving it. So grab a cup, let's talk about books. So this is just going to be a really nice, lovely chat about books. I've kind of compiled all the books I got in March, some for my birthday, some not for my birthday, but I'll kind of differentiate as I go. One thing I want to make very clear, and I mean this for all book hauls, past, future, ongoing, as well as unboxings and anything like that, I never ever want this to be construed as me showing off or bragging or taking for granted the things that I've gotten. That's never ever the case. It's always I'm excited about and feel very lucky and grateful and blessed to have received what I did, however or whatever the situation is, birthday, Christmas, whatever it may be. And I just love to chat about books, and I can talk about them in bulk for this. And I know personally I love watching book hauls. I'm nosy, and I assume someone else out there will love having a nosy as well. So anyway, that's more or less my reasoning behind it. But yeah, so I have organized the books more or less chronologically with how I receive them, and that's how I'm going to go through it. But yeah, let's get started. So the first book I got in March, I am part of a Random Act of Kindness books. I'm part of a book. No, I'm part of a Random Act of Kindness group, and every month we gift each other. So this month I was gifted The Penelopead by Margaret Atwood. I did read this in March. I did a full review of it, so I will have that linked in the description below. But it is the retelling of Penelope's story, Odysseus' wife, from the underworld, the realm of the dead. So yeah. The next one was also from the same group. Well, the next two. So this was another Random Act of Kindness, and it's called Athena's Child by Hannah Lynn. And it is the retelling of Medusa's story, which I am so excited about. I have been looking high and low for a retelling of Medusa, and I believe Jessie Burton is bringing out one, but I think it's been delayed. I don't think it's coming out till October or something like that. But I really love the story of Medusa, so this is a retelling, and I'm so stoked about it. I cannot wait. The next one was for a book swap, and this person did not know how much I desperately wanted this book, so I was so excited. But it is Before the Coffee Gets Cold from Toshikazu Kawaguchi, and it is the sequel, Tales from the Cafe. So I read Before the Coffee Gets Cold in January. It was my first 5-star read of the year. It's a new all-time favorite, and I'm so excited to read this again, to read this one. It's just a continuation. It's more stories from the cafe. So that's the one way that I'm sad that like we're starting to head into the sunnier weather, because like where I live it never gets cold, but like the rain and the drizzle just kind of really suited the atmosphere. But it's fine. I love the sun, so I'm okay with it. The next two that I got are a pair. I found them on like the Facebook Marketplace and jumped. So I got the folio editions of Dickens London and Dickens in Europe, and I am so excited about these. I guess in a way these were kind of like a birthday present to myself, but they just have Dickens' essays on London and Europe, where he went and what he experienced, and I'm just so excited to really delve into them and see everything he had to say. And they do have illustrations throughout as well. So yeah, needless to say, I was a little bit ecstatic when I found these. I was very pleased. Then the next ones that I got weren't birthday, and that my husband surprised me with these books because March was overall a kind of month. I was very excited for it, but stressful things happened, and that's fine, that happens, but my birthday was one of the highlights of the month, so I'm very grateful about that. But yeah, it was a little bit hard for a little bit, so he surprised me with these books. So one I've been wanting forever, and it's Sleeping on Jupiter by Anuradha Roy, and it sounds so interesting. Like, genuinely, I don't even fully know what it's about, but it sounds fantastic. So I am very ready for this book. And then the next one he got me was The Luminaries by Eleanor Catton. This one sounds fantastic. It is a big book, so it may be a little while till I get to it, but it's set in 1866. It's set in New Zealand. I've not read many books set in New Zealand. I've read 2 romances set there, and I love them. I loved the descriptions. It was amazing. So I'm really looking for some beautiful, like, landscape descriptions. But it's a historical fiction, and I think it's like a historical mystery as well. So I'm very excited for this one. Now the next one I got was not a birthday gift, and it was not it was not a random one. It was a Christmas gift. Basically for Christmas my husband had ordered in this book, and it had been back ordered for a very long time, and it came in on my birthday, so a little bit weird, but it is should practice this before I recorded. Apollonius of Rhodes. Oof. I've heard it, but I've never said it. Jason and Medea. Yeah, wow, I'm just butchering everything. I'm really, really excited for this. I cannot wait. It's crazy that, like, it arrived on my birthday, but it had been back ordered for a while because we kept getting emails being like, it's still back ordered. It's like, cool. But it's here now, so it's one of the Penguin Little Black Classics, and I cannot wait to get to it. I love, just especially after reading a long book, picking one of these up to kind of be a buffer in between long books, and it's a beautiful thing. So I am super stoked for this one. Now, another book that I got that I didn't get for my birthday, but I got on my birthday, was The Drowned City by KJ Maitland, and it's actually publishing day today. I'm recording this on April 1st, and I'm so excited about this. The publishers sent this to me so kindly, and I am going to read and review it. I cannot wait. I'm so excited for it. I really wanted to have it in my April TBR, but I've got some bigger books there, so I just didn't feel like I would get to it, but if I can, I will, because I'm so excited about it. It's set in the 1600s. It's set in 1606, and I'll just read the first paragraph of the synopsis. It says, "A year to the day that men were executed for conspiring to blow up Parliament, a towering wave devastates the Bristol Channel. Some proclaim God's vengeance, others seek to take advantage. Not revenge, but sure, maybe. I'll find out." So I was so excited for this. I mean, I can definitely tell I'm in a mood right now for, like, dark, gritty, historical mystery kind of themed novels. So yeah, I'm so stoked for this one. I cannot wait. And the one I'm currently reading is set in the 1600s as well, so definitely a bit of a theme. But yeah, I cannot wait to get this one, and I'm very, very grateful that they sent it to me. I did not realize I was getting the full copy, so that was such a surprise, and to get it on my birthday was pretty perfect, I've got to say. So yeah, anyway, that is The Drowned City. Now, the next 4 that I got have a bit of a funny story to them. So basically, as part of my birthday present, my husband got me a Waterstones gift card, but he gave it to me in, like, the beginning of March, because probably April last year when I placed an order with Waterstones, it took like a good month for the books to come in. And that's happened a couple times, and that's fine, that happens, and it's a crazy time for companies trying to ship and get stuff out. Like, notice at all, I get it, but we thought we were ahead of the game by getting a gift card at the start of March. I ordered the books, and we hoped they would be here in time for my birthday. Yeah, they shipped the next day and arrived like 2 days later. So I had them, like, a couple days into March. And beyond that, the postman was very honest, so it was great of him. He could have just like put them down and walked away, but the package had like burst open at some point, so he had me go through it and open it completely up and make sure everything was there and all right. So that was fantastic of him. But because of that, I opened up my birthday present like at the start of the month, and my birthday's end of the middle of the month. So it was a good few weeks away. So they just sat on a shelf downstairs waiting, and I didn't touch them until my birthday. So it was the epitome of torture. It was that's a bit melodramatic, but like it was it sucked. So the first one that he got me, which is actually on my TBR for April, is Roxana by Danielle Defoe. It is about this woman whose husband leaves her with her 5 children. So she basically has to decide how she wants to choose to live her life, whether or not she wants to live like an honorable life and scrape by, if that, to provide for her children, or if she wants to become a mistress, a prostitute, and live in luxury and be able to provide for her family. So you see the choice she makes, you see how it affects her, how it affects everyone. And I'm really excited for it. I just love books that are like dark and gothic and atmospheric and just get into the nitty gritty. I love it. So I'm very excited to read this one. The next one he got me is a big one that I am very excited for, and that is War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. Now this is in the Vintage Russian Classics series. I love this series. I love the way that they'll do their different classic series, like the Bronte one and that. They're floppy, and you can't beat like a good floppy paperback, and they're stunning. They're based off of like textiles and designs that would have been popular when the books were published. So I've read Anna Karenina and I loved it. I'm reading the synopsis of War and Peace, which is set during the Napoleonic Wars. I'm so stoked for it. I don't know if I'm going to prefer it, but I actually have a bit of a feeling I might. We will see. It's going to be quite a while though, probably, before I get to it, but I would love to read it this year. We will see. We'll see what happens. I'm not saying yay or nay to anything. The next book is a debut. I heard about this from Simon Savage of Savage Reads, and that is The Prophets by Robert Jones Jr. This is a story based on 2 young men, and does it say what year? I don't think so. But it's based on these 2 young men who were slaves. They're living in a plantation, so they're obviously dealing with the horrors and the injustice and everything bad and wrong about that, and at the same time they're in love with each other, and that's something that is frowned upon as well. And so they're dealing with having to be slaves, but then even people that know them and care about them not supporting them, and it sounds like it's going to be heartbreaking. It sounds like it's going to just rip my heart right out. And I can't wait. I'm very excited to read this. I think it's going to be a really, 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 really special and impactful read. So yeah, I can't wait. I am so excited about this one. Then the last one from my husband, which is actually my current read, is A Net for Small Fishes by Lucy Jago. This one I am just under halfway through. I will probably get halfway through tonight, so I'm very excited. It is based on 2 women. We have our main protagonist, Anne, and then her best friend, Frankie. Think The Prince and the Pauper. Not a retelling, but like it's going to give you the right vibes. So Anne wants to have like a secure financial life in court. She just wants to be in court, wants to have all the beautiful things, but wants to have like that security for herself, for her children. She's such a loving and caring mother. And she befriends Frankie, who is very high up in court. And Frankie just wants to be happy like Anne, and Frankie is miserable in her life. But as they come together and they become closer friends, they learn about each other's miseries and they assist each other and do what they can to help each other change the way that their lives are going. And it's very interesting the methods that they are using, I will say that. So far I'm loving it. It's very atmospheric, like I'm getting lost in it really, really well. It is gripping. I'm reading it pretty slowly, but it's not a slow read. But I'm enjoying just sinking into it and yeah, getting lost in it. It's a lot of fun. Okay, and then from my parents-in-law, I got a few books I've been wanting as well, and they are both gorgeous. So this first book I had heard about a while ago, and then it definitely slipped my mind, and then I saw it pop up again, and it sounded really, really amazing. So it is The Warlow Experiment by Alex Nathan. It is a nice and small book. It's smaller than I thought it would be, which I'm stoked about, because historical fiction I don't think tends to be a smaller book, so I'm jazzed. And it's set in 1793, and it's about this guy who decides to do like a social kind of experiment and puts out an ad for people to apply to, and the deal is that they live in like the basement, I think, of his house for I believe like 6 years without any social interaction whatsoever. You know, their food is delivered daily by a dumbwaiter, and they have to keep a journal every single day during their isolation and how that is mentally affecting them. And they have all the amenities they could wish for, but genuinely like no social interaction. So the only person who's keen enough to apply is a father of a large family, and he can't afford to provide for them anymore. And this is offering a good yearly income for life beyond the experiment. But the book itself, and again, I get into the appearance, but I just love it when you can tell every little detail's been thought out. So like, if we look at the end papers, like these are gorgeous. This is stunning. And then the naked cover, like, that is amazing. I love it. I adore when I see, you know, everything really, every single detail accounted for, you know, it means a lot. Okay, so then the other one is one I've been wanting for so long, and it's really pretty. It's really pretty, guys. And that is Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. So this is the Children's Classics edition. The quality of these, like, they feel amazing. The pages are like so unique. They're really hard to describe. They're glossy. They're very glossy, and they're very just like thick, sturdy pages. Like, the books have a good heft to them. Like, this is a thin book, but no, it's got quite the weight to it. I'm looking forward to growing my collection of Chiltern books. I have great expectations in it as well, and they're the exact same height, and they just look so good together. So I have, out of Jane Austen's works, only read Pride and Prejudice, and I adored it. And just something about Northanger Abbey called me, especially since my favorite color is purple. That might have done it, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So the last of the books I got from my uncle, as well as the mug you saw me holding in the intro. I'm not going to pick it up again because I will spill on the books. It's going to happen. But I ordered in a couple books, and the last one won't be here till the end of April. I pre-ordered the hardcover of Ariadne because, like, it's gorgeous, and the book meant a lot to me, so means a lot. So I really want to have the completed edition as well. But the books that are here, the first one is Conan Doyle For the Defense by Margalit Fox. I am so excited about this. It's a non-fiction. Basically, it's a story about Arthur Conan Doyle after he wrote the Sherlock Holmes stories, and he is brought in for this case. I think he's mysteriously, I think more or less brought in, like it's through a messenger. He's asked to help out someone who's been in prison for a number of years, and it's to help clear this person's name, and he ends up having to use very Sherlock-esque tactics to do this. So yeah, I think it's really cool, and I'm very excited to find out how it goes. And this one is also one that I saw via Simon Savage on one of his videos, and it's a gorgeous book, and it also sounds so interesting. And it is The Lamplighters by Emma Stonex. It is a debut novel, and again, the detail. It's the detail, everyone. They just got it right. They really did. It's beautiful. Even like the end papers are like gently marbled as well. It's gorgeous. I just love how the sprayed edges like carry on from the cover. I love it. And then the gold foiling is actually textured, so it feels like gold flakes on it. It's amazing. So this is a story about three lamplighters, lighthouse keepers in the 70s, and they mysteriously go missing one night. No one knows why. The door was locked from the inside. The head keeper's diary said that there had been a massive storm that night, but the weather report said all was fine. So they don't really know what happened or what went on, and years later people start asking questions. The women in their life, instead of being bonded closer together because of this, were torn further apart, and questions start being asked, and things start being looked into, and I'm very excited. Like, I love books based around water. I'm expecting lighthouse, probably going to get some great imagery, as well as that. It sounds really dark and haunting, and I'm all for that. Then the last book, which I'm so excited for, is Daughters of Night by Laura Shepard Robinson. This one was more or less an impulse buy. I stumbled across this, and it's like exactly what I love. So this is, we have a female protagonist who stumbles across her friend who has been fatally wounded. And she says these last words to her, which lets this woman know that she needs to solve the murder because their secret could be potentially out. So she embarks to solve the murder. The police are really involved until they realize that the woman who's been murdered was a highly paid prostitute, and they could not care less. So our protagonist decides, no, she's still going to solve it, it doesn't matter, and she enlists help to do so, and I can't wait. It's set in 1782 in London, so again, I'm really looking for that like dark, gritty, atmospheric vibe, and I'm thinking I found it. So yeah, I cannot wait. And then as well as that, this was a total surprise, but the end papers of this are gorgeous. There we go. They are absolutely stunning. When I opened it, once it came in, I couldn't believe it. I had no idea, and it's awesome when you just find like a hidden gem like that. So I cannot wait to get this one read. It's bigger than I thought it would be, but I think it's going to be amazing. So yeah, I'm very excited. Okay, so those are the books that I got in March and for my birthday. I didn't show the non-bookish items just because mainly I'm waiting for most of them to come in. But yeah, I'm extremely grateful. I had a really beautiful day. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and just the relaxing chit chat about it. If you've read any of these books, let me know what your thoughts were, what rating you gave them. Anyway, if you want to like, comment, and subscribe, I would really appreciate that. And I will see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.